How's it going, everybody? Rybrad here today, and we are back with another episode of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode. And if you guys remember in the last one, it was all about the rookie phenom Cole Caulfield. He came up and just started just taking off for us. Cole Caulfield with 15 points in 30 games. He was doing too good in the minors for me not to call him up. And I mean, I just think he's a +7. I can't really ask for too much more. I wish, you could see Corsi and stuff like that. But I'm not going to ask too much about advanced stats. Now, I was thinking about making a trade since we are close to the trade deadline here. This should be the final season push. We'll get it done in this video. I do have a trade in mind that I would like to make. We are 2 weeks away from the trade deadline, so I think I'm going to go ahead, we'll get up past it, and we'll get all the way to the end of the season, and hopefully we can be a playoff contender. But I got an idea. We were going through, at the end of last one, trying to find maybe somebody to trade, somebody that, was a reasonable price, and up in Carolina, there was one defenseman named Jake Gardiner here, who I think, 83-29, he doesn't really have an injury history in Shell. You don't have to worry about it. And I think Ikonen in that second, definitely not giving up Cole Caulfield or Suzuki, but Ikonen and a second. I'm going to go to edit the trade, see what, dive a little bit deeper into it. But we got Ikonen, Joni Ikonen, he's 20, he's 60 overall, he's medium top 6, and they want the Chicago Blackhawks second. I believe we still have our own second round pick. Yes, we do, so that's a good thing if we miss out. I mean, this is a move that's going to bolster our defensive core, especially the left-handed side of things. He's an 83 overall. If we go check out the defenseman we have right now, it's not necessarily bad. But it does kind of fall off a cliff after Jeff Petrie and Shea Weber. We did pick up Marco Scandella, who, he's the third best defender on the team, which is not ideal, in my opinion. I think he's a solid 6th defenseman. He'll be on your third pairing, and he'll just do fine. He'll play a couple minutes here or there. Good veteran presence. But Jake Gardiner would come in, and we'd instantly have, 4 80 overall players. We'd still have Mete and Sherratt. I think Juleson would stay up here as well. Maybe I'd scratch a guy like Sherratt since he won't grow. Mete will, so will Juleson. Ouellette, Olofsson, Riley. Riley's a big, I think he's big in our scheme, but I think I'm going to make this trade for Jake Gardiner. Enough deliberating on it. We just have to move Nick Juleson down, which is fine, and sweet proposal on our end, so maybe I should have edited something that they think they came out on top there. Sweet proposal, so let's go ahead and send somebody down. We're going to need to send down a defenseman. I think I will send down Mike Riley. No waivers, because I have waivers off, that's right. And I think we're good. Maybe call up a forward, just for forward depth. If need be. Pekka is probably this guy scratched, I believe. Wheel's actually playing, I believe. So he only wants to be... Oh, wait, Cole Caulfield's in the system now? Why is Cole Caulfield down there? I'm going to call him back up. I don't know why he got sent back down, but we're going to leave him up. Yeah, see that right wing spot right there? Should have been Caulfield's. We will put him in there, substitute him in all lines. We did kind of stack the first line, although I don't mind Cole Caulfield playing up there on the first line. Gallagher has got a lot of points. He's doing quite well with his 18 minutes. He's a -1, though. Having Jesperi Kotkaniemi back and Paling, too. I mean, we have center depth. Finally, I can say we have center depth. Paling, yeah, he doesn't really help a ton. Tatar, Kotkaniemi, Gallagher is a good one, in my opinion. I like that line a lot. Williams up there on that first line, but then that would hurt this third line. Joel Armia instead of McGinn, or Byron instead of him. Deneau? No? Okay. I'm not sure. I think I'll leave Jamie McGinn there. I believe we signed him. Did we sign Jamie McGinn? We might have signed him. But defensively now, I no longer have to... Yeah, Jake Gardiner scratched. I was a little bit worried for a second. But I'm going to scratch Sherratt, I think. How does he fit the system? There's nobody that's a bad system fit, it looks like. So I'm going to scratch Sherratt and put in Gardiner. Yes, that's fine. Gardiner up to the first pairing with Shea Weber, Scandella, Petrie, Juleson, Mete. I think that's pretty decent, guys. I think it improved it quite a bit. Yes, we still have Carey Price and Keith Kincaid back there. So the scratched players are Matthew Pekka, Xavier Ouellet, and Ben Sherratt. So we're fine there. I mean, we have center depth, so I'm not too worried about the centerman anymore. Maybe having Cole Caulfield play on the first line. He boosts Drew into an 88 and Domi to an 89. Domi's up to an 86. I love to see that, especially since I just gave him that contract extension. I believe 8x8 was the contract extension I gave him. We still have $4.5 million in cap space available this season. Let's go ahead and view contracts, because this is right about the time that I would like to focus on next year's cap space. Okay, so we'll have $11 million in cap space next season. We could decide on a guy like Williams or Marco Scandella. Probably going to let a guy like Marco Scandella go. Juleson hopefully will jump. He's only got 8 points. He's a -1 in 58 games played, so he hasn't been fantastic. Mete's got 15 points, and he's a -5. He's playing more minutes per night than Juleson is, though. So I think I'd like to reward Mete with a contract extension. I'll give him 3 years at 1.5, maybe. Can I get him to do 1.3 years, 1.5? Because I feel like that'd be really solid for him. Oh, I believe what's-his-face is also expiring. Cole Caulfield. I did extend him, though, for a decent bit of time. Sort by potential. There is Cole Caulfield. He's making $2.5 million for a long time, which is going to be really good for us. Let me tell you that. If he can keep producing the way he's producing, I'll be really happy with that contract. But without further ado, let's go ahead and simulate the next 2 weeks. See if we need to maybe make another move here on Sunday before the trade deadline. Mete renewed his contract, 3 years at $1.5 million. It makes me really happy with that contract. And a big win against Boston, a divisional opponent. A loss to the Penguins, but we do beat the Dallas Stars. And a big trade to be announced. Chris Kreider is getting shipped to Colorado along with a third. And in return, they get a first this year and a fourth this year. So that's a good player move. And that's the kind of guy that I would like to maybe potentially go after. But we'll see as we get closer to the trade deadline. A 4-2 loss to a divisional opponent. Oh, wow. And Tyler Toffoli and Forbort go to Anaheim. Anaheim seems to be buying here at the deadline, sending a second, Ryan and Ferk. It is a big trade, if you ask me. Tyler Toffoli. They want to give me Sami Vatanen for my only other second this year, a second next year. Sami Vatanen's expiring, and Evans, but it could bolster our defensive core a lot. He's a right-handed shot. He would probably replace Marco Scandella, if you ask me. He's an offensive defenseman, maybe help us get some points going on the lower end. The defensive core, though, I kind of want guys like Juleson and Mete playing so they grow. I don't really want to go all in this season. The trade for Gardner just helps the team be a better team, I think, in the future as well. And if you look at that, guys, it just went away. Come back. Go to the Atlantic Division. I don't care about the Pacific Division. Go to the Atlantic. That's the Central. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go do it myself. We know we're on the Sunday before the trade deadline. And there we are, guys. 7 points behind the Panthers in second, and 1 point above the Maple Leafs and Senators. So it looks like 67 points is the minimum to make the playoffs right now. We are looking good. Jonathan Drouin only has 3 points in his last 6 games, I want to say. So we let's go check out and see if Caulfield, I think he was a +7 coming into it. He's now a +8, and he's got 15 goals and 5 assists. The kid got 4 more goals in the last 6 games, so I'll take it. And then Max Domi also having a very good season there with 50 points in 64 games. I think Cole Caulfield on this first line is a good thing. It allows us to play guys like Tatar and Gallagher on that second line. Yeah, flipping. I keep trying that every time. What about Deneau up on that? Nope. Yeah, Deneau's perfect for the fourth line. But Paling there, 21, 82 overall. He's growing nicely. Kotkaniemi, 82 overall. He's got 17 points in 24 games. He was injured, I believe, with a concussion for a decent amount of time. Oh, yeah, and you know what? I think I might be able to tell how many points Jake Gardner has with us now that they added it broken out by team. Hopefully they do. Jake Gardner, go into his stats here with Montreal. Okay, there you go. He's got 1 goal, or he's got 1 assist in 6 games played, and he's a +3. So he's already turning it around from where he was in Carolina. That's awesome. I'm so happy they added this. It's such a nice quality of life. And we're giving him 5 more minutes a night, so we're not even sheltering. We're like, just go out there and do your thing. The giveaways, not great for a defenseman. It's all right. Marco Scandella, though, how are you doing? +6. Oh, yeah, he didn't even play in Buffalo. He is a +6, and he's got 7 points in his 21 games with us. Marco Scandella is just loving life here in Montreal. Buffalo is obviously weighing him down, and he's a +6 this season. A bit of a bounce back. His first plus season, it looks like, since the 15-16 season in Minnesota. His 2 seasons in Buffalo were not great, and I can tell you that from experience. But 21 games played and 7 points. That would be, he's on pace for about 20 points, probably more like 15 to 20 points, somewhere in that range, depending on if he gets hot. Time on ice is 23 minutes per game. He is now on that second pairing. Good amount of blocks, good amount of hits for 20 games. I'll take that any day of the week. Shea Weber this season, 24 points in 60 games. I'm not asking Shea Weber to be a point machine. Petrie here, is he on pace for 40 points again? I can't exactly do the math that quickly, but it looks like maybe another 20 games. He's probably going to get 35 points. So a little bit of a down year, but he's also not playing substantial minutes. He's got a decent enough shooting percentage, though. He's playing 23 minutes, so more so than he did last year. But so far, so good when it comes to our defensemen there. And we didn't really make any trades for anybody. But Cole Caulfield, I love it. You can see what he did in the minors here that just forced me to call him up. He had 40 points in 24 games, and he certainly hasn't slowed down too much here in the NHL. 15 goals already as a rookie, and he didn't even play the full season. We're at 36 games played here at the deadline, so he's probably going to get, another 20 games in? So he'll play about 56 games. Hopefully, he can get 35, 40 points. Maybe he probably will score 20. 20 goals in a rookie season out of a guy I called up halfway through the season. I will take that for sure. Let's go check out our goaltending stats. Carey Price, doing okay. Keith Kincaid, solid there. Carey Price is winning about 50%. He's not getting the bounces, it seems like. He's got better stats than Carey Price, I guess, but I can't say I guess, but he's just played less minutes. I assume if he played the kind of minutes Carey Price is playing, then that would still, not be a very even distribution as far as statistics. All right, now let's go to skaters matching block. Just check out other teams' trade blocks now that we're closer to the deadline. They put Toffoli. They just traded for Toffoli, and he's already on the trade block. I'd make that trade, but I don't. That's not very realistic for a guy that they just traded for to be on the block. Now, I wonder if I can get rid of a guy like Carl Alsner. Connor Sheary is on the block. The Sabres have put Connor Sheary on the block. Would he fit in our system at all? He would fit on our forward line 1 and the penalty killing lines. That's good to see. I could see him playing instead of a guy. Okay, so if we went after an 82 overall Sheary, we'd probably have to give up a third. That would probably move Caulfield down. It would probably get rid of McGinn or Armia, which, actually, he's a left winger. He plays the right wing in real life, but they have him as a left winger in the game. He might fit instead of Joel Armia or Jamie McGinn. So maybe I'd like to go after one of those guys. Byron is a left wing, so I don't know why I don't just do that. And then maybe, Byron on that second line wouldn't do poorly, it looks like. Maybe just shift some things around. But Connor Sheary would help that third line become like a really solid third line. Connor Sheary, Paling, and Williams, all 82 overall players. Sheary's on an expiring $3 million deal, which is really nice for us. Maybe we do make a trade again with the Buffalo Sabres. Stay in intra-division. We didn't give up much for Marco Scandella. I believe it was a really reasonable price, so that's why I went ahead and did it, because we did need some help on the defensive side of things. Stahl, Haula, maybe. Matt Molson, no thank you. Boqvist, I'd love to get a guy like Boqvist, but I just don't see it happening. What would we have to give up? No trade found. there either. So Murphy is a decent guy, but again, I don't want to keep trading for. Whoa, Corey Crawford is on the trade block. They put Corey Crawford on the block. I guess Robin Leonard's doing just that well. Let's see. Let's try and flip through this. Boone Jenner, maybe. 3 years left at 3.75. Okay, maybe not. Dallas Stars, Nyberg. Okay. We'll keep rolling. Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid seems to be doing just enough up there. Connolly, no, really looking for a left winger. Connor Sheary might be another guy to go after. Now, I'm not going all in. I could go after a guy like Zucker, but that's a multi-year deal at $4 million. So they got a lot of decent guys here on the block, but a lot of not friendly contracts. Nashville Predators. CJ Smith. I'm sorry, it's Craig Smith, not CJ Smith. Would also be a good guy to go after. Yeah, he's making $4.25 million. How is he doing this season? Not great, but based on Nashville's trade block, they don't. What? Taylor Hall is on the trade block. He is going to be a potential UFA. We have $11 million. Do we go all in and try and go after Taylor Hall? They want Carey Price, a first, a second, and Evans. This is a potential trade. I don't think I'm going to do it, but it does get Carey Price's $10.5 million off the books. Now, we don't have a goalie, but we could go after Corey Crawford. If we went after a guy like Corey Crawford, this is a trade I would see myself doing. Taylor Hall is an elite left winger that we could put up there with Drouin and Domi. We would then move Tatar down to the third line, or Caulfield. Caulfield would probably slide in on that third line with Paling and Williams. Be a really solid third line. Taylor Hall would be an absolutely fantastic get. What an absolute blockbuster of a trade that would be. I mean, New Jersey does need goaltending. I can see it. A lot of wheeling and dealing here if I do happen to go ahead and get Corey Crawford, who's on an expiring deal. We'd have to re-sign him. I wonder if any other teams have goalies on the block. Ryan Miller's on the block, but he can't be a starter. I don't think that you're going to find a starter here. Maybe Halak, but he's a really, really solid backup for them. Carolina, maybe. Nope. Chicago's got Corey Crawford. Man, this is a potential just blockbuster. Hugh Doman's on the block. Jimmy Howard could be a really cheap guy to go after. Now, yes, that is a huge downgrade from Carey Price to Jimmy Howard, but we would get Taylor Hall in the process. Corey Crawford might be the better guy to go after as long as the price is right. Because I think he's an 85, 86 overall. A bunch of 83s there. I think Jimmy Howard's an 84, if I remember. Tampa Bay, nobody's on the block here. Nope, not here. Vancouver, nope, no Markstrom or anything like that. Washington, and then Winnipeg, yeah. So nobody really is on the block. If we go back up to Detroit, yeah, Jimmy Howard's an 84. Jimmy Howard would be good, but Corey Crawford would be better. But he is a lot more expensive, and apparently no trades were found. Can we go here to Jimmy Howard? Byron sheds that salary, and we give up a third. Marco Scandella, I just acquired him. A straight up second. I would rather give up the third because the second would be crucial in a Taylor Hall deal. Guys, I think I'm going to go for it. I think I am going to trade away Carey Price for Taylor Hall. This is not the kind of opportunity you get every day to trade for a guy like Taylor Hall. I just want to make sure that I wouldn't be missing out on any other potential just absolutely huge gets, like a Voracek, or Crosby's not going to be on the block, but St. Louis Blues, Steen, Tampa Bay, Toronto Maple Leafs, yeah, no, nobody on the Canucks, Golden Knights, no thank you, Hagelin, and then Winnipeg Jets, no Line on the block. Vesalainen would be interesting, but I think I want to go after Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall is a Hart candidate, hands down. New Jersey Devils, Taylor Hall, potential trade. Carey Price, a first, a second, and Evans. Okay, if I take the second off the trade, can this still go through with a first, Price, and Evans? It would go through. We'd have to move down Cole Caulfield and call up Lindgren. Probably because they'd want us to have another goalie in the system. Can I? Okay, it probably has to be the first. What if I tried throwing in our second instead of the first? See if that would tickle their fancy. Trade rejected. It's just not sufficient enough. Evans is not good enough, if you ask me, or will never be good enough. He's just an AHL, career AHLer. We get Taylor Hall, guys. We'd have to sign him to an extension. They do not have him signed to an extension. He's having a solid season with 59 points in 61 games, but I think he could do even better here in Montreal. Wow, what a huge trade this would be. They put Taylor Hall on the block. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for this trade. We have just traded Carey Price for Taylor Hall. What an absolute blockbuster of a deal here, guys. Absolutely massive deal. I'll send Ouellet down in the system. We got to call up a goalie just for now. Lindgren, come on up. Confirm. Go to edit lines. Best lines, we'll worry about that later. Now it's time to go acquire a guy that is going to just become our starter here for the rest of the season. Jimmy Howard. Let's just double check our goaltending situation. I want to make sure that, yeah, Kincaid is only an 82. I'd have a nice, solid 1-2 goaltending tandem with Jimmy Howard and Keith Kincaid. I'd be satisfied with it. We'd have some signing to do, but we just gave ourselves so much flexibility. Find a trade. Byron and a third, and that's next year's third too, and that's next year's second. I would rather trade Byron and that contract away. Oh my goodness, we might be making a flurry of moves. Byron's playing third, fourth line minutes. If they're willing to take his $3.5 million contract for the next 3 seasons after this one, and I get Jimmy Howard for a season, I will take it. Next year's third, trade accepted. Boom. Absolutely, just massive moves. Blockbusters left and right. Let's go. I will send down our goaltender, Lindgren, confirm. Edit lines, best lines. There we go. And do we want to... Okay, let's go check out the lines, because I don't want to... Oh, Max Domi was named the alternate captain. Good for him. Now we'll hit best lines just because. Hall, Domi, Drouin. There we go. Justin Williams, move him down there. Paling, centering... Deneau. Okay, let's go here. Not Michael Pekka, Matthew Pekka. Yes, confirm. It's a -1 there. You hate to see it. +1 there. I don't want to play Cole Caulfield on the fourth line. I don't want to send him back down because he's just doing too well. But now that we've got a guy like Taylor Hall, that's actually a potential possibility here. Zeros across the board, so it wouldn't be boosting Cole Caulfield at all. Wow, we could move... Okay, Taylor Hall, Domi, Caulfield, Drouin, Kotkaniemi, Tatar. Drouin, go over here. Gallagher, come on up. And Tatar... And that's a 0. Okay. Drouin, Kotkaniemi, Gallagher, Tatar, Paling, Williams, Armia, and McGinn down here on this fourth line with Deneau at center. Oh, I guess moving him to the right. Wow. Would change it just enough to get a +1 to that bottom line. Guys, this is absolutely crazy. This is crazy right now. This is nuts. I know we got 2 lefties here and 2 righties there. Let's move Gardner here just like this. Petrie. And everybody on the defensive core seems to be doing well. And in goal, we've got Jimmy Howard, who had a .900 save percentage, .323, winning less than 50% of his games in Detroit. But we have a much better team than Detroit, and we have just acquired Taylor Hall. I can't stress this enough. We have Taylor Hall playing with Domi and Cole Caulfield. Can Drouin take face-offs? He can, maybe. Oh, so this line would go up to +3. I don't know if I want to put Taylor Hall on the second line. I don't care about the line chemistry, getting the +3 to the first line or anything like that. I mean, Drouin is probably... We're still going to have an absolutely... Okay, why is this like this? Why is Taylor Hall not on the power play? Kotkaniemi, I love you dearly, bud, but no. Domi, Gallagher, and then Taylor Hall, please. Thank you. Yes, changing current line there. Taylor Hall, fine with me. And then Williams, Kotkaniemi, Paling, Petrie. Oh, there's Taylor Hall. He's on the... Okay. So you know what? Take Taylor Hall off that second power play. Right wing Cole Caulfield. Just put him on the power play for us. Get that +1 going. I think I'd rather have him on that forward pairing. Paling, since he is a two-way forward, he's got a decent shot, but I think he's better suited to play the defense role. Kotkaniemi, maybe? I know Kotkaniemi has a good shot. I saw it in person when the Canadiens came to Buffalo. Had an absolute rocket that he roofed. Gallagher, Domi, Hall, Drouin. I'm okay with that. And then Caulfield, unless I want to move Caulfield instead of Gallagher, it doesn't give me enough of a plus. So 4-man power play. Taylor Hall, you just have to go up there for Gallagher. Yeah, that's fine with me. Kotkaniemi, Williams. Yeah, we have to play Williams. Penalty kill. Wow. +5 penalty kill. Philippe Deneau, Paling, Petrie, and Weber. McGinn, Armia. I think neither of those guys work. Jake Gardiner does not work either. I think I'll take... Can McGinn actually take faceoffs? No, he can't. Neither can Armia. So we'll take McGinn off and play Kotkaniemi. Changing current line. That's fine. It's not a minus, but it's not a plus. Those are the guys I think I'd want playing. Deneau and Paling, fine with me. Yeah, would not make it any better. All three of them are green check marks, but I guess you can only get a +1 when it comes to that. Domi, Hall, Kotkaniemi, Drouin. Deneau, Gallagher, fine with me. 3-on-3 lines, Domi, Hall, Weber. Kotkaniemi, Drouin, Petrie, Gardiner, Gallagher, Deneau. Cool with that. Extra attacker is Taylor Hall and Shea Weber. In the shootout, we got Hall, Domi, Tatar, Drouin, Gallagher. I don't actually know what order these are in. I think it's maybe Hall, Drouin, Domi, Gallagher, Tatar. Anyway, and in goal, we know we now have Jimmy Howard and Keith Kincaid. So, man, absolutely massive moves here. Absolutely massive moves. Now it's time to see if Taylor Hall wants an extension. He does want a contract extension, and we now have $23 million in cap space. Look at that. We just gained $12 million in cap space and are going to be able to extend Taylor Hall for 7 years at 8 point... I'll try 8.6 for 7 years. That's still a really reasonable deal in my book. I'll try 8.5. If he says no, then we go back and we, talk to him, see what happens. But if we can extend Taylor Hall and have more money in free agency to maybe go after a goaltender, maybe we can draft one pretty high up. Hopefully, we'll be winning the Stanley Cup this season. Hopefully, these trades don't we don't plummet. So let's just go ahead and go 2 weeks here, go past the Buffalo game and see how we do. It is the trade block coming up. Taylor Hall, he extended the contract at 7 by 8.5. That is a huge extension for a guy like Taylor Hall, and I think I'm done making moves. I'm sorry, Minnesota. 3-1 loss, great. 5-3 loss, great. Did we lose that one too? 4-3 shootout win when we did beat the Carolina Hurricanes. 4-3 shootout win there. Let's just keep it rolling. I couldn't tell if we won or lost against Tampa Bay. A big one. We lose 4-3. It's close. We would need a goaltender to keep us in it. We're scoring a lot of goals, but we're letting a lot in. Oh my Jesus. This is not looking good. This is not looking good at all. Oh no. I only have to laugh simply because I might have just screwed it. I might have screwed us. I'll keep Caulfield on the second line there. Paling doesn't help the second line. Cole Caulfield. Okay, I'll put Caulfield on the fourth line. I think I'll get Tatar up there on that second line. Just play guys where they should be playing. Philippe Deneau does not really help all that much. But you know what? I do kind of want a decent centerman. And that does boost that line a little bit. Okay, everybody's doing all right. How is Jimmy Howard doing for us? Oh my God, he's doing absolutely horrible. Maybe I should have gone after a guy like Corey Crawford and tried not to just accept the trade finder, but we've got a late March push. We got to make the playoffs. You can't trade for Taylor Hall and miss the playoffs. I'd be very angry if I was a fan. 4-1 loss. Come on, boys. A 3-1 loss? Oh my god, a 3-2 overtime loss? Are we tanking right now? What is going on? A 7-3 win. Oh my god. We lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row down the stretch. Oh my god. Since trading for Taylor Hall, we've lost 10 of our games, winning 2, winning 3. We're 3-10. I know 2 of them were overtime losses, but man, did we just make it almost impossible for us to make the playoffs. We'll go up to, hopefully we can beat Florida. Can we beat Florida? 4-3 loss. The Islanders is a 4-3 loss, and we're basically eliminated from the playoffs after trading for Taylor Hall. I don't know. Oh my god. And look, we're at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Only team beneath us is the Detroit Red Wings and the New York Rangers. Looks like we could have a chance at drafting pretty high this season, but when you go out and acquire Taylor Hall, that's not what you're shooting for. These 3 games are pretty much just non-starters. I don't know if the issue it was not offense. I got tempted by getting Carey Price's contract off the books and getting a guy like Taylor Hall. Now we have money to make moves. But as you can see here, the team was a 500 team. I tried to do something that would push us over the edge, but let's just go ahead here, edit lines. I'll move Cole Caulfield up because I don't want him playing. Oh, he's a 75. What's wrong, bud? Oh, he's even now. We'll move, yep, him. He'll play with Taylor Hall. Jonathan Drouin, I was going to say we'll center it. You know what? Cole Caulfield with Drouin and Domi. Oh, wait, that was a +3, putting Tatar up there with Domi and Hall. Drouin, Kotkaniemi, Caulfield. So I guess Tatar would have been the best bet up there. And then now the third line looks fine to me. Gallagher, yeah, over there. Maybe I should have done these lines. Maybe that would have been better for us, Tatar on that first line. He's been pretty poor for us, though. But these last 3 games, just show me something positive here, boys. Oh, that hurts. Can we beat Chicago? We lose 5-3. We do beat Nashville. Can we beat Toronto? We do beat them 2-0. We get the shutout, but we did not stop the Leafs from making the playoffs. All right, time to go view the full standings, and I'm pretty sure I will get to the end of, or at least get to the draft lottery in this one. But we are 37, 37, and 8. Our issue seemed to be, we were, the team just kind of fell apart there at the end, probably because I made a bunch of moves and it kind of messed with morale. We might have been able to sneak into the playoffs, but I don't know if we would have done any damage. 89 points only from the Leafs and 102 from the Florida Panthers. So let's go to the entire league, sort descending by place, and it looks like we're going to have the 7th pick in the draft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will have the 7th pick in the draft, while also signing Taylor Hall to a long-term extension. A goaltender is definitely something we should look to go after. Gee, I wonder if only we could get a guy like Carey Price on this team. But potential free agents, Point, they must have only signed Point to a 1-year deal, or did they not even sign him? No, I don't think he got signed at all. Patrick Laine, still a potential free agent. Again, we don't need goal scoring. I'd like to see what potential goaltenders. Braden Holtby is out there, as well as a guy like Robin Lehner. So there is still some hope for us to go out and assign an elite goaltender for less than $10 million a season. If we get Braden Holtby, I think next season would be a ridiculous season. But let's just go ahead and, you know what? I'll go ahead and do the end of season rundown. I always forget to do that. Regular season has ended. Okay, so since the NHL regular season has ended, I'm going to send Cole Caulfield back down to the minors so he can help out the Laval Rockets. Cole Caulfield, go to roster moves. You know, that's just something we would do. Realistically, Cole Caulfield should maybe have been down there the whole season and torn it up. But we'll go to edit lines, whatever. Best lines, don't really care about the NHL anymore. Best lines. These lines are decent. In the AHL, though, best lines it here. Cole Caulfield, go ahead and get your butt up there on that first line. Wheel there with Cousins and Caulfield. Caulfield was actually better on the second line, I believe. But we'll keep him up. We'll put him on the first line. He's an NHLer for sure. 25 points, almost scored 20 goals in his rookie season, only playing 54, had a 10% shooting percentage and took 182 shots. 3 game-winning goals, so the kid did help. Hopefully he grows to be a nice winger for us. I'd like to see a good offseason of growth from him. And let's watch Laval as they push the Rochester Americans to potentially win our division, which would be great. We got 3 games here. Down by 4 points. These would be huge games to win. We have 5-0 win against Syracuse. We lose and then win in a shootout. So we don't push the Americans. There's nothing we could have done. We got 4 out of a possible 6, so I'm content. And now we play Belleville, who has seemed to play us very tight. Let's see. We'll go through the first 3 games. Can we get this done with? A 4-3 OT win, a 4-3 OT win, a 3-1 loss. So it is still in our favor. Do not let it go to a Game 5. We let it go to a Game 5. Can we win? We cannot. Okay. So we lose in a Game 5. And just an absolutely depressing season for us. Let's just say that. I mean, one more season. I realistically said next season was the season I wanted to go all in for. You know what? I should check the draft class and see what potential talents are out there. Is there a franchise player? There's Lafreniere, Evan Crooks, Eric Peterson, Kai Vitanen. So, wow. Guys, we are pretty much guaranteed a medium elite player. No doubt in my mind we will be picking a medium elite player. Unless we get jumped 3 times, which would really suck coming from the 7th position. But we will simulate to the draft, get the draft lottery out of the way, and then make the approach. The Philadelphia Flyers are your Stanley Cup champions. I can see that. They played well. All right. The Philadelphia Flyers are your Cup champions. Let's go take a quick look at the playoff tree and how everybody did. So it looks like the Flyers 4-1 over the Isles, 4-1 over the Devils, who now have Carey Price. They won a series, they lost. I can't believe they would trade Taylor Hall, though. But he was on the block, so I just went for it. 4-2 over the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then 4-2 over the Avs. Now, that's a semi-realistic thing I could see happening. All of these teams I could see making the postseason. Islanders, Panthers, could push it. This is a really realistic simulation, it looks like. Chicago could push. Vancouver, Edmonton, maybe a little bit more of a stretch, but they're both playing well right now. Looks like a realistic simulation to me. Colorado versus St. Louis would be a great series. And in the AHL, you can see over there to the right, we lost to Belleville, the Senators. So decent enough. Let's go check out the postseason stats for these players. Who had the most stats? Mikko Rantanen, Nathan McKinnon. Jakub Voracek, though, probably came home with the postseason award. Claude Giroux also had a great season. Goaltending-wise, how did Carey Price do? Carey Price, really, he doesn't deserve his contract based on how he's simulating. He's got, 6 more years? He'll be 38. I don't know how long he's going to hold on to that 91 medium elite, but that was a pretty poor season in all things considered. He did bounce it back quite well for the Devils, who he just carried to 8-7-2, so he was pretty much 500. No, he was pretty much above 500, but I wouldn't say that he stole the show or deserves to make $10.5 million. So as much as it sucks for this season, it's easy for us that in real life that would be just an absolute gut punch. But NHL, not worried about it. We can get to the right to next season in the next video. I don't know what all of these things are. Retirement, okay. Draft interviews. We can interview players at the draft now. You know what? I might look to do that at the start of the next episode, guys. So we'll see here if we can get to retirement at least. We'll do some draft interviews to test out the new draft system or the new morale. And there we go. We had to give up our first. I forgot. So New Jersey's picking 7th. We don't even have a first round pick. Ottawa wins the draft lottery via San Jose. That's gotta suck. I'm glad we didn't win it. I forgot we gave up our first, so this sucks even more now. We don't have a pick. We are not guaranteed a medium elite player, but we are guaranteed one Taylor Hall. Maybe I should have stuck with it. I don't know. But you guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.